So get ready for this one because um, imagine a world where Baghdad doesn't fall to the Mongols.
Mm.
Like picture it instead of just complete destruction.
Yeah.
What if they became like sponsors of knowledge?
Yeah.
Patrons of the arts and sciences.
Okay.
So that's our deep dive today.
I like it.
An alternate history.
Okay.
Where the Abbasid Caliphate not only survives, but thrives.
Right.
And the world feels the impact.
Interesting.
So we're going to uncover surprising innovations.
Okay.
We're going to meet some seriously influential figures and just see the ripple effects on everything from global exploration to the tech they're using.
I'm intrigued. Let's do it.
Buckle up, because we're about to explore a Baghdad bursting with scholars like a golden age, powered by peace and collaboration.
So what's really captivating here is that this whole alternate reality kind of hinges on this one critical decision.
Okay.
It's 1221 CE. Whispers of these approaching Mongols, they reach Baghdad.
Right.
Now, instead of like prepping for war,
Yeah.
the Caliph al-Mustansir takes this radical approach.
What did he do?
He chooses diplomacy.
All right, so let's dig into that a little bit.
Cool.
We know that the Abbasids were kind of known for their diplomatic skills.
Right.
They were masters at kind of maneuvering through these really complicated political situations.
Yeah, absolutely. They understood that alliances were powerful and that knowledge itself was a strategic tool. This is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
Because the Mongols,
Yeah.
impressed by the Abbasids' dedication to knowledge, they decide to become protectors instead of destroyers. Instead of tearing down cities,
Right.
they become patrons of knowledge.
Wow, that's a serious plot twist.
Right.
The Mongols, like, famous for their warriors, becoming seekers of knowledge. It's like something out of a history buff's, like, wildest dreams.
Yeah. Yeah.
This isn't just a cool story, though, is it? Are there, like, real-world parallels where we see that sharing knowledge actually leads to peace?
Oh, absolutely. History's full of these examples.
Okay.
Look at the Silk Road.
Right.
It wasn't just about, goods and spices. It was this network that allowed ideas and knowledge to flow.
Yeah.
Leading to these periods of relative peace and prosperity.
Right.
Imagine if that kind of exchange, that desire to learn from each other, had been like the norm.
Yeah.
Instead of all the conflict that we see in our history books.
Yeah. So instead of fearing the unknown, they embraced it.
They embraced it.
Huh. It makes you think about how differently things could have played out.
Yeah.
If that was just like a more common way to approach things.
Precisely. And it's not just some pipe dream.
Yeah.
There's a real historical basis for this.
Okay.
The Abbasids, they were known for these diplomatic delegations.
Okay.
They're envoys who would travel far and wide, building relationships and gathering knowledge.
So they were already kind of doing this.
They understood that knowledge was key to power, but also a bridge to understanding.
It's a really powerful idea.
Yeah.
And it kind of sets the stage for some pretty incredible changes.
It does.
So what happens when you have this perfect storm of peace, stability, and a thirst for knowledge?
Right.
What does Baghdad even look like in this alternate reality?
Yeah. What does it look like?
So we've got this Baghdad where knowledge is power.
Right.
And the Mongols, instead of being the destroyers of that knowledge, they've become its protectors.
Yeah.
What happens next? What does this, like, Abbasid Renaissance really look like?
Well, picture that it's not just Baghdad.
Okay.
Knowledge is flourishing throughout the empire.
Okay.
We're talking universities like those in Timbuktu, Cordoba, and of course Baghdad.
Right.
Becoming these vibrant hubs of intellectual exchange.
Wow.
Scholars from different cultures and faiths, drawn by the reputation of the Abbasids.
Yeah.
They're flocking to these centers of learning.
So it's not just about preserving the knowledge that's already there.
Right.
It's about creating a space for new ideas to actually emerge.
Exactly.
It almost sounds like a golden age for science and innovation.
It really is. And a perfect example of this is the work of Ibn al-Shatir.
Okay.
Now, most people might not recognize the name.
Right.
But he was this brilliant astronomer who, get this, perfects the heliocentric model of the solar system in the 14th century.
Wow. So way before Copernicus.
Way before Copernicus.
That's huge.
Huge implications.
In our timeline, suggesting that the Earth wasn't at the center of the universe.
Right.
That could get you into some serious trouble.
Absolutely. But in this alternate timeline,
Okay.
Ibn al-Shatir's findings, they're embraced. They're studied, they're debated.
Okay.
And here's the thing.
Yeah.
His more accurate model of the solar system, it doesn't just change how people understand the universe.
Okay.
It has practical applications,
Like what?
particularly in navigation.
Because if you know exactly where the Earth is in relation to the sun and the stars, you can navigate with much more accuracy.
Precisely.
So what does that mean for the Abbasids?
It means they become masters of the seas.
Really?
Think about it. With this advanced astronomical knowledge, they're able to build better ships, develop more precise maps, and navigate across open oceans with confidence.
So are we talking about Ahmad ibn Majid now?
We are.
He's the one who sailed across the Atlantic long before Columbus?
That's right.
Tell me about him.
Ahmad ibn Majid, often called the Lion of the Sea. He was this exceptional navigator and ship captain. He penned several texts on nautical science, drawing on both his own experience and the astronomical knowledge passed down through generations, including, of course, the work of Ibn al-Shatir.
So instead of just kind of stumbling upon the Americas by chance, Ibn Majid sets out with purpose, guided by the stars and these advanced maps.
Exactly.
That's got to be a game changer.
It's huge.
What happens when the Abbasids, with their emphasis on knowledge and understanding, make contact with the New World?
It leads to a very different kind of encounter.
Okay.
Instead of conquest and exploitation, imagine an exchange driven by curiosity.
Okay.
The Abbasids, remember, they're all about knowledge. They're bringing back new crops, medicinal plants, geographical data.
It's a very different kind of globalization.
Very different.
It makes me think about another great thinker who thrived during the Abbasid Caliphate.
Yes.
Ibn Khaldun.
Ibn Khaldun.
He's considered one of the founders of sociology.
He is.
In our timeline. He made groundbreaking contributions to our understanding of history, sociology, economics.
Absolutely. His masterpiece, Muqaddimah, still studied today.
Yeah.
Now, in this alternate timeline, imagine the Abbasids' emphasis on knowledge sharing.
Yeah.
Creating even more fertile ground for his ideas to take root and flourish.
So his theories about civilizations, about the cycles of growth and decline, they would have resonated even more strongly in a society that was experiencing a golden age.
It's fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah, it makes you wonder how his work might have influenced the Abbasids themselves.
It's a fascinating thought experiment.
Yeah.
Imagine a society actively using Ibn Khaldun's insights to understand its own trajectory, to learn from the past, and build a more resilient and just society. It challenges us to think about how we use knowledge, how we value it, and how it shapes our world.
Yeah. We've covered astronomy and exploration and sociology. What about the technology? We're talking about a civilization potentially centuries ahead of its time.
Yeah.
What does that even look like?
Well, this is where that domino effect of those early Abbasid decisions really becomes clear.
Okay.
Remember their dedication to knowledge and to fostering innovation. Fast forward to the 19th century.
Okay.
This version of the world is connected in ways we can barely fathom.
Really?
Railways, telegraphs, technologies we can only dream of.
Okay, hold on. I'm picturing like Baghdad with a steampunk vibe.
Right?
Are we talking airships over the city powered by some clockwork contraption designed by like a descendant of Al-Jazari?
You're not far off.
Really?
Remember, even in our timeline,
the Abbasids were already tinkering with mechanical devices?
By like those incredible clocks.
Complex water clocks. Early forms of automata. In this alternate history where science and engineering are celebrated, those early innovations could have blossomed into a full-blown industrial revolution.
So instead of those images we have of like coal-powered factories in Victorian England, we might have had steam-powered workshops in like a futuristic Baghdad.
It's a wild thought.
It really is.
And it wouldn't just be about the tech itself, but about how it's used. This is a society that at its core values knowledge and education. So this industrial revolution, it wouldn't just be about maximizing profit, but about progress, about using these new tools to improve people's lives. That's a refreshing change from how industrialization played out in our own history, with all its complexities and inequalities.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Imagine factories built with the well-being of the workers in mind, places designed to be clean and safe where skilled laborers are respected, and the benefits of technology are shared.
It's kind of inspiring when you think about it. This isn't just about some alternate history. It's like a peek into what a truly enlightened future could look like.
And that's the heart of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Our deep dive into a world where Baghdad didn't fall, it isn't just about reimagining the past.
Yeah.
It's about challenging our assumptions about progress.
Right.
Exploring what a future where knowledge and compassion go hand in hand could actually look like.
What if instead of approaching the world with fear and conflict, we led with curiosity and a desire to understand each other?
It's a powerful idea.
It really is.
And it makes you think, what if in our own time we prioritized knowledge and understanding the way the Abbasids did in this alternate timeline?
It leaves us with a lot to ponder.
It does.
To everyone listening, here's a thought.
Okay.
What can you do today, even in a small way, to embrace curiosity and collaboration? Maybe it's learning something new.
Yeah.
Connecting with someone who has a different perspective.
Right.
Or simply approaching a challenge with an open mind.
I like it.
Who knows? Maybe those small acts can help build our own legacy of knowledge.